Hi everyone, it's Dina and this is Badass Pub and we are joined by Tiffany Fox, of course.
Hello.
And by DJ.
Hey.
So, she's also known as Diantha Jones and A-Star, but we're just going to call her DJ. I just didn't want to confuse y'all as we're talking about it. So, we're going to get our heavy subject matter out of the way right now. And that is diversity in literature. You know, the book world is, I don't know, I think it's just as divided right now as our society seems to be, which is, for me, that's really strange because I don't ever see color. You know, that's, if I was to hear about a book that was African American fiction, I think, and it was supposed to be good, then I just said that I don't ever read anymore, but I think if I had heard raves about a book, I'd read it. I didn't hear any raves about 50 Shades of Grey, so I didn't read it. So, I mean, but, this is my point. And I don't think any books that I read, yeah, I know the characters for the most part are white, because most of the books that I do actually read or I format or whatever, they, on the cover, there's a white dude or a white lady,
Right.
But I don't think, unless it's shoved down your throat, I don't think I comprehend race in a book that I'm reading. Even if they said long blonde hair, I still don't think, because wigs, weaves, dye jobs, bleaching, who the hell knows? So, but DJ actually writes truly diverse fiction,
Yeah.
which I think is lacking a lot.
It is. Great.
Why the hell am I the only one fucking talking, bitches? Get off your asses and fucking open your fucking mouths. Jump in.
Hey, we were just letting you chat.
I'm fucking drowning. That's like ask white girl to fucking talk about race. Yeah, that's nice.
No, I think what you said is good, but I don't think we should not see race. It's okay to see race. It's okay to see color, but you have to learn to appreciate the differences that all of us have. I think that's, and I'm not saying you don't, I'm just saying that's what we should all do, is learn to appreciate one another and try to accept and love the differences between us. And because if we were all the same, if we were all alike, this would be a really boring world. Who would want to be here if all of us were clones?
Actually, yeah, and I think things are the only thing that I can say that's even comparable is like the tumultuous 60s, right, where they were having
civil rights.
They had coming on the civil rights, and then you got the anti-war movement, and a great big clusterfuck of societal problems. And I really think we're moving more and more towards that one more time, and which I seriously think it's going to get worse before it gets any better, which is really, I mean, especially after, if you're listening, this is recorded the day after the big shooting in Dallas. It's, I don't want to see how worse can be than it is right now.
Right.
But I think, I think we're looking at some big major events before the average person stops and says, look, this shit's got to fucking stop.
Yeah. I think what a lot of the issue is, and this is just me, this is not necessarily my personal feelings, but I think a lot of the anger comes from some black people feel that, I guess, people of other races did not speak up until the cops got killed. And it wasn't, now all of a sudden it's becoming a bigger thing, even though 1 and 2 days before, two black men were gunned down innocently. Innocent men were gunned down for absolutely no reason by police officers. And I think a lot of black people feel that, and a lot of African Americans feel, whatever's politically correct to you, feel that.
And I never know what the hell is politically correct to say in the first fucking place. And I think that's a lot. I mean, speaking as a white girl, I don't know what. And you know, it's not like. I mean, I'm in Houston. I'm in a culturally diverse town.
Yeah.
We got Latinos, and you know, we call them Mexicans. Why? Wait, I mean, I'm not gonna call anyone the N-word.
Yeah.
But
it's okay to call them. It's okay.
I just call them people or assholes. they're fucking bitches, fucking assholes, or dudes.
Yeah.
A lot of people are dudes.
But in general, I mean, I think it's more about it's okay. We know that you're not black, and it's okay to be brave. I know that.
I thought you were going to say it's okay that you're not black.
No. No, it's okay to be brave. Like, it's okay to speak up when it doesn't affect you. And I think and it happens on both sides, not just, you know, in these situations, but people tend to go really silent when it doesn't affect them. And I think it's not just because they don't want to say anything. A lot of times they don't know what to say, and they're also afraid they say the wrong thing and ignite this whole crazy thing. And I'm just like, oh, just be brave. Say what you feel.
Speaking as a white person, and I don't speak for all white people. I don't speak for all white women.
Yeah.
I'm speaking for myself as a white person. First off, I think that we're afraid to say anything, especially on social media, because shit you say on social media gets taken out of context.
That's true.
All the fucking time.
Yeah.
You can be trying to show solidarity, so to speak, and someone with an attitude could read it and read it like you're saying it sarcastically, and you know, and so I think that's a lot of it. We're scared of getting shouted down for saying something and it being taken the wrong way, and then you try to clarify what you're saying, and everyone's like, oh, well, now you're just backpedaling. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
You don't know what was in my head when I typed that shit out. Right. So, you know, they just keep quiet until it actually affects them.
Yeah.
And until it comes busting in their fucking door with a fucking knife in their hand.
Yeah.
You know, and so you know, what is okay to say and what is not okay to say. Now, we all know, don't be saying the N-word. I mean, you should have fucking learned that shit in preschool.
Right. But my thing is this, don't fear the backlash. Just don't be like I said, be brave. Say what you feel. If you truly stand with us, then stand with us. You know, I'm not saying I'm not saying anyone's been acting half-assed or anything. It's not that. I get it. Like, I get it. Because even in situations like this, I am moderately quiet. Because you haven't seen me ranting, raving on social media. I don't do that. I make comments and I make statements, but I don't post, 16 posts a day and they're all a rant or rave about these issues, because I feel that it feeds more into the chaos than to help solve it or to help bring clarity to a situation. I don't think adding to the noise is what is needed.
Really, I think when Black Lives Matter got started last year, like 12 months ago, and I was like, why does it have to be Cop Lives Matter? Because right about the same time, then you had the cop got shot, and it was like Black Lives Matter and Cop Lives Matter. I was like, you know what? It's not just one or the other, and you can be pro-police and pro Black Lives Matter.
Oh yeah.
They're not mutually exclusive. I don't think anyone, seriously, no person, not just white people, not just Latinos, not just black people, no person wants the police to actually just disappear.
Oh, no.
I don't think anyone wants to be living in a completely and totally lawless society.
Nobody wants this.
No matter if there are, and I'll tell you, there's some cops that have no business being cops.
Oh yeah.
But for the most part, they're there to protect and serve.
Most of them
That's
are
what we want.
Most of them are good people. I know plenty of cops, white and black, here in D.C., and I would be very upset. I would be very upset. I would be very sad if anything happened to them. And I think I said that, I guess, when that New York cop got shot, or the cops, and it was a big thing. Yeah, I said that. I was like, I definitely would be upset if any of the cops I knew were gunned down in retaliation, because it seems like the cops always get killed around after the instances where the young black men are getting killed. And the thing is,
and just in Louisiana, they had a cop car get firebombed.
Yeah, it's the thing is, and I think what's really outraging black people is it is clearly systematic, because it's not, you know, oh, young and old black men and women. It's not a mixture. It's not like they're just, you know, they're systematically, and that's what it feels like. It's systematic. It's a systematic takedown of young black men.
Well, and the thing is, like, honestly, if you look at what happened in Dallas last night, which was absolutely horrible, but what happened there, what's happening everywhere, it's going to end up with all of these, especially the larger cities, opening up martial law, and then we're all fucked.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you all think that this is bad. Martial law, we're all fucked. I mean, do you really want to send your children to school with military lining the streets and escorting the buses to school and tanks everywhere and military vehicles? I don't want that shit. I don't want my kids to grow up like that.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it's not going to be a punishment for one race. It's not going to be a punishment for just the police. It's going to be a punishment for every single person involved in that area. Hey, and nobody wants that. I can't imagine
I don't want to think what it's like in
that.
Dallas at this moment.
Yeah. What?
I don't want to think what it's like in Dallas at this moment.
I don't know. Not at all. I mean, they should. Have they even opened up DART yet? I mean, think about it. They shut down an entire transportation system. That's insane. I mean, there are hundreds, I mean, thousands of people who can't even go to fucking work.
Depend on mass transit to get home, you know, get to work, get to school, get to the grocery store.
You know, these snipers and these gunmen, they went out there with the mission to you know, hurt the police, but in the end, they hurt an entire city.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't just, you know, I mean, yes, they killed these men and they hurt families and everything like that, but on a greater scale, there's so many people who are totally just...
It was the protesters that were, like, running frantically. They had no idea. You know, they were suffering from severe fucking terror. You know, what the hell? Are the cops shooting at us?
Yes.
I mean, the protesters got put in a situation where, you know, you go out to bitch, whine, and moan about the cops, and not denigrating the fact that they're protesting the cops. That's just... I bitch, whine, and moan, you know. But to go and to be there protesting the way things are getting done. And the cops are there.
And it was a peaceful protest, and it was done the way that protests should be done.
Should be. It was peaceful until, do they even know how many shooters there were? I know of one.
Like 4 or 5.
But I'm thinking, I mean, so it was a coordinated attack.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like one guy goes, hey, I'm going to start fucking shooting, and then another guy goes, hey, well, I got my gun, I'm going to start shooting too. I mean, I think these people were probably hanging together and went into it as a coordinated attack. But, you know, the protesters are there going, holy shit, you know they're sitting there thinking as these bullets are flying, or they're not sitting anywhere, they're running for their fucking lives. They're thinking, are the cops shooting at us? And this time the cops weren't the bad guys. And I'm not saying that the cops are never the bad guys. I'm sure the cops are the bad guys a little more often than they should be. But,
I think,
still, I can't even imagine that.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, we have to remember that not only, yeah, the cops shooting was definitely affected the whole city, but the killing of the black men in the previous days affected a whole race.
Yeah, I think if
all of these
incidents in Minnesota, where the one gentleman was shot and it was live streamed,
yeah,
or in Louisiana, I think if the shooting of the cops there, I don't think it would be as shocking or as jarring as a city out of the blue that didn't have an immediate,
connection.
Connection to it. So I think that's a lot of the reason that everyone's kind of like, the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, and this is just me speaking out of my ass because I don't know what their mental state was, but without a doubt it was in retaliation to previous events, and it's not the way. Meeting violence with violence is just not the way. It has never been the way.
Yeah,
Throughout history, it's never worked, and it will not work this time. We had but like you said, peaceful protest. The way that protest was going, it was a peaceful protest. That's the way protests are supposed to be done, just like Tiffany said. Just making sure that we stay aware of the things that are going on, and that we talk about these things, and we don't let them all fall by the wayside. I mean, I think that's the number one thing that we can do. And we have to be able to talk, not just black people to black people and white people to white people. We should be able to talk to each other about these situations and it not blow up into some full blown out race war.
Right, exactly. And I think that's that's a lot of the reason why it doesn't get talked about more, because white people don't want to feel like we're being condescending.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think African Americans want to feel like we're like white people are talking down to them.
Yeah.
But I think both sides want to be heard and want to try to explain. And you've got, when you go into any conversation about race, any race at all, and it's not just black and white, it's any race conversation at all, I think everyone goes in with really, really thin skin.
Yep.
Because we don't think the other side
understands,
can see our side.
Yep. And then but I think a lot of people on both sides, a lot of, the debaters and the commenters and the posters, you have to be willing to accept that you cannot convince that person to see your side of view. People get so mad when they cannot convince other people to believe what they're saying is somehow fact, it's somehow law, written down in the Bible, handed down from God himself. Like, you have to be willing to accept the diverse, and that's what I posted in the group yesterday. I was like, I already know that we're going to see a lot of situations differently. Maybe not as many as I think, but I know we're going to see. We've all come from different walks of life. We were raised differently. We're from different places. And
it doesn't all have to do with our skin tone either.
No, it doesn't. It's just the way life is, and not enough people recognize that that's just the way life goes. Everyone is not going to agree with everything you have to say. Everyone is not going to see your point of view. A lot of factors feed into how people build their views and, where their morals come from and their values come from. And not enough people are willing to accept that other people are not like you. And that is the problem. That's half the problem right there.
Right.
Why we can't have these conversations. Because no one, not no one, but people from both sides are so dead set on their views. They're just convinced that they know the way, and they've got all the facts, and that no one else in the world can tell them anything, and that's half the problem right there.
And
That's
anyone who disagrees with me is a fucking idiot. And that's not always the case. I was being facetious. I don't really think that. Well, a lot of times I do, but that's only in business. That's not necessarily in. That's not in life. That's just.
Yeah.
You know, but I do think now that we've completely strayed off the fucking subject of books and publishing.
But I mean, that all feeds into books.
But I think it really needs to be said because, you know, I think me as a white author.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think none of my main characters are anything other than white. And I don't think it has to do with I'm racist. I think it has to do with I have no idea how to write. I mean, I don't think about race when I wrote it. And I don't mention race when I'm describing a character. You know, I don't say alabaster skin or, you know.
It's natural for you to not only read the things that you're comfortable with and that you know, but to also write it. See, I'm a little different than some because I grew up a military kid. So I've been in all these diverse schools and situations and neighborhoods. And so for me, everyone is fair game. For some, it might not be that case. If you've gone to predominantly black or white schools and lived in predominantly black or white neighborhoods, for you, that's going to be completely what you identify with almost completely. So for you to say that, you know, I'm not saying that you were one way or the other, but you are a white person. So if you write about white people, there's nothing weird about that. Like,
there's nothing wrong with me writing about white characters.
There's nothing strange about that. Like, you're writing, you identify with white people because you are a white person. That's, if anyone gave you shit about that, well, something's wrong with them.
Right. Why are you only writing about whitey?
You're right. Like, I mean, that's crazy. I mean, like I said, I write about white characters. I have a lot of white friends. 2 of them are sitting right here with me now. So it's like why can't I write about white characters? I mean, in the beginning, definitely a lot of, you know, people were questioning, thought it was a little weird that I, you know, was writing the types of books that I was writing. I think there's a lot of assumptions about African American authors when we start writing that somehow that it automatically means that we're going to be writing African American lit for African American people. That's not necessarily the case. It's not. Like I said, I grew up into all these diverse situations. So my books are a reflection of that. And those who know me get it. You know, but it's more about, you know, convincing those that don't know me why things are the way they are, though I don't try very hard. My books are my books. I write what I'm comfortable writing. I write what I enjoy, and to hell with everyone else.
See, now I think everyone should write what they feel comfortable writing.
Just write it.
I think they should write to checkbox A, checkbox B, checkbox C, in column 1, 2, and 3. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think anything needs to feel forced.
Right.
You are happy with what you're writing, and you're writing. You know what? You're writing it for you.
Yeah.
It'd be, correct me if I'm wrong, but it would be nice to make a bestseller, you know, New York Times bestseller or USA Today bestseller, but that's not your ultimate goal. Your ultimate goal is to put these words on paper for anyone and everyone to read and enjoy.
Yeah.
I think that's a bigger, to me, yeah, don't get me wrong. When I release my book, I really want to make a bestseller list, but that's not why I'm doing it.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to make a bestseller list?
In my fucking head for 600 miles. It wouldn't get out. I fucking vomited it out on the page. There you go. Now y'all can enjoy it or not.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to make the bestseller list? That's
right. That's
every author's goal eventually. we want to write what we want, what we enjoy and what we find what we're comfortable doing. But come on, have you ever met an author who's like, no, I'm not.
No, I don't want to sell.
Bestseller list, yeah, that's
I
a crazy.
don't want to sell my manuscript
Right.
to Hollywood. You know,
Right.
I don't want to give them an option for $10,000 for
Right.
12 months for them to come up with
Nobody,
a fucking screenplay.
nobody says this. So that's the goal of every author.
But ultimately, if you want to achieve success at writing, to me, success at writing and publishing is producing what you want to produce.
Yep, that's where it starts.
And if one person likes what you have to say, you have fucking won.
Yep.
And,
Absolutely.
Yep.
I want to say that's what I'm going to go into this with, but after the amount of money I've spent, more than one person better fucking like that fucking story.
I feel you there. Yeah.
I mean, because if you're doing it right, honestly, if you're doing publishing right, it's not free.
Oh no, that's what I've been
Never.
saying that forever. It's expensive, and you won't always see the buyback on it.
You are lucky. You're lucky if you can make back your expenses.
God blessed you like one of His baby angels. Like seriously.
Right.
Like it's very, and there's no one's patient anymore. No one wants to put years in. They want it to be an overnight success. They're not willing to put. Even J.K. Rowling put a good 6 years in.
Oh my gosh, I watched her speech the other day about basically hitting rock bottom.
Yeah, her story is amazing.
And that was
incredible.
That was her foundation, and that is such an amazing fucking story.
It is.
Rock bottom was her foundation.
Yep.
And hitting rock bottom was the best thing she ever did. And I'm thinking, I've been here at rock bottom for... do I have to go even lower? Do I have to go into the basement of rock bottom, and do I have to shore up the pillars and then go from there?
Right?
So, no, I joke, I kid.
But no, like, I mean, no one's patient anymore. No one wants to wait or take the time or invest the time that it's going to take to reach that success. It may take you 10 years. People are not willing to accept that it might take you 10 years.
Well, and look at, you look at, oh gosh, it's one of those success videos where it says, Stephen King had X amount of manuscripts rejected, and so, was rejected from 47 jobs.
150 rejection slips on your wall. I don't care. I can live with that. And I really, honestly, I'd like to think that, if I wrote all the 7 books that I have planned out to write and don't sell, maybe sell enough to pay for my cover of my next one, each time. And then
doing well if you can.
Later, 15 years later, my daughter gets a royalty check from Amazon. Your book has been found. Well, the old bitch is dead. How much money am I getting? I'd be fine with that. That's assuming I'm going to be dead in like
15 years. Let's not even think of that.
15 plus 7, because it's going to take, I figure, a book a year, right? So, I don't know.
Book a year, I wish.
Hell no, that's only putting me at 65. I'm still going to be doing some shit.
I was like,
you're too ornery to go
out of here that soon.
I am too ornery to go gently into that good night. I will rage.
Yeah.
See, I showed education. Y'all didn't think I had it.
I never said any such thing, Dina. I've never.
Rage. Okay, sorry.
Okay, so now that we're
in my head. Okay, so really, before we got off on, God, that was completely unexplained.
I don't even understand how we got there.
I don't either.
I don't even.
But you know what? I think it was good radio, so we'll probably leave it in there.
Yeah, let's do it.
It really was good.
Really?
Now, Tiffany can tell you last week I told her, oh, no, that was good. That was good. I'm leaving that in there. And then I'm editing and I'm going, holy fuck, man, all of this shit. Man, I ended up cutting like 25 minutes out of last week's show going, holy fuck, I'm a retarded dork, man. What the hell? Why didn't Tiffany
out of control?
I was out of control, man. Woo. Fuck, I paid for it on editing is all I got to say. So, but no, before we got off, we had some set points that we wanted to talk about. We wanted to talk about diversity, and I think we have touched on that enough. I don't think you can ever stop talking enough about diversity, and I don't think you can ever talk about it too much in books, but we're stopping right now.
Okay.
All to hell, as a redneck would say. But I wanted to talk about social media marketing because, holy shit, I think a lot of us are doing it wrong. I mean, Jesus Christ, I have so many fucking Twitter accounts. I mean, so many Twitter accounts, so many Pinterest. I mean, I've got at least, under my direct control, 6 Twitter accounts, 3 Pinterest accounts, I think just 2 Instagram accounts, but I could be wrong. I think I have 7 Google Plus accounts.
7?
Don't get me wrong.
Oh, 7 emails. Okay, yeah, okay.
I mean, so it's easy for social media to become overwhelming for anyone and everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Now, one of the things that Badass does for our authors is you send us a tweet for each specific book. Hint, hint, homework. Got that hook?
I've got some tweets. I'm gonna go dig them up.
And then we'll tweak them up, and we put some hashtags HTML. We put some hashtags in there because we have certain people that use automatic retweeters. I see you back there, dude.
He's taking the dog to bed.
But, so like certain hashtags get retweeted by our accounts and by our authors. Some of them have like Round Team and stuff like that automatically retweet. So, to use these hashtags means you're going to get seen by more people, especially for Twitter, which is like, standing on the Autobahn watching cars drive by at 1,000 miles an hour. You could get as much information off Twitter as you could from standing on the Autobahn. And so I think, some of this stuff is completely right place, right time. And some stuff is so underutilized, which a lot of the things that I think are underutilized are Pinterest. Yep. I mean, for authors, from an author point of view, Pinterest. Now, I use Pinterest as an author to find my layouts of my locations that I use within my books. Finding
so you
shoes she wears, the hairstyle she has, the drinks they're fucking putting down in the bar, stupid shit. But it's like my inspiration board. And then, but Instagram, I think, is just slowly emerging as like an author.
Well, it is. You're talking about Pinterest, and I want to go back to that real quick before we go on to Instagram. Pinterest actually is a decent marketing avenue if you know how to use it, and a lot of people don't know how to use it. Like, I personally don't know how to use Pinterest. I've never really used it. I mean, people send me pins, and I'm like, okay, but I don't really know how to utilize Pinterest for the purpose of marketing. And I mean, Dina, didn't you send me that? Didn't we watch that webinar on it?
I think I sent you the link for it, and you took notes on it.
I did.
And you're like, well, are you going to do it? I'm like,
it was still over my head. Like, to me, Pinterest is not, like I said, some people can make it work because they understand it and they know how to use it. I don't understand it. I don't know how to use it, so I don't see how it is a good avenue for me. But it's very successful for some people.
It's all about making. So for Pinterest, for me, it's all about making a collection. So if Pinterest could work really well if what you do is you create boards and you pin different pictures to them, and the pictures lead to links. Now, something an authors could do, I have some boards, but I didn't necessarily do it like this, is to make a board for each series. I mean, the boards themselves can tell stories and about the book without.
Yeah, well, see now, mine aren't necessarily the one Pinterest account that I have for my author persona, which is me. You know, there's not going to be any fucking secret. Dina Ray is ebook builders, and every other fucking online incarnation I have, right? But I don't want to put that big long fucking last name that I have on every fucking cover on every fucking bookshelf, because that's a long, ugly last name. I mean, show and television. Basically what my name is, show and television. But, you know, the thing is, I use my board, and it's got, you know, so I want the people that actually read my book, like, you want to know what Willow's dungeon looks like? Here you go. Here's her dungeon. Here's the layout of her dungeon. You know, you want to know what her apartment looks like? Here's her apartment. You know, here's her high-rise penthouse. You know, you want to know what the lake house looks like? Here it is.
Yeah, but readers want to see what the author saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can read it for themselves and make up their own pictures, but it's always great. They want to know how you see your characters. And then Pinterest is a great way for you to build characters, build setting, build plot.
And the way I'm looking at it is, okay, 3 books into your series, people are emotionally involved in your series and the characters. So they follow your whatever series board that you've got.
Right.
And the books, and they start seeing a new pen, and they're like, oh, what are they working on?
Yeah, what is coming?
What are they working on?
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's a little nibble. It's a nibble. So, you know, look, it's constantly building expectation. I mean, in a perfect world, it would be constantly feeding the bear. You know, nudge it, nudge, nudge. Here's a ham sandwich. Come on, come on. You know.
Right.
And so, well, the reason I started thinking about social media for authors and Pinterest, you know, Pinterest is kind of like a byproduct from what I saw. But it's like Instagram. Well, Book Business, which if you don't follow Book Business, you should go and follow their newsletter. They came out with an article about Litsy, Litsy, and it's not available on Android. It's for the iOS operating system, but it's like kind of like the Instagram specifically for literary, and it looks so cool. But there's so many things that come from that you can transfer to how you promote on Instagram, which is what I think authors are really, really, really missing out on. There's so many. I mean, Instagram is so huge. Do y'all need the link for Letsy?
You said
it's not up in the App Store.
Here, hold on. I'm gonna.
Is it Litsy?
Litsy.
I'm not getting it to come up in the App Store.
Hold on.
Let me see. Download a. I think it came up in mine, but it said it's highly rated.
It's highly rated.
It's what?
It's highly rated. All right, it's popping up in my iTunes store right now.
I think my internet's lagging. That may be the problem.
0 fucks given. Stop that shit. Did we talk about my cat's name? Bastard.
I'm pretty sure you've told us the cat's name before, at least told me your cat's name before.
Zero fucks given.
But
Zero fucks given.
every time you do something, I am actually surprised, and I should not be.
Well, DJ, you've known me, what, 3, 4 years now?
Wow, yeah.
I think I've known you longer than I've known Tiffany.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you came around the crew quite a while back, because I've been with Master.
Yeah, it was like 12.
2011.
It was in 12 when I started talking to. Yep, it must have been them. So where the hell did Tiffany go? She fucked up her internet. So, but anyway, you know, it was just kind of like a perfect storm. You know what? We're gonna pause this for a second because I gotta go pee.
What the fuck? You need to get that checked out.
And you go get some wine. I'm gonna go pee, and then we'll come back and we'll start back off when I talk about Litzy and Instagram.
Yeah, I'm looking at Lissy now. I'm gonna sit here and look at it a little bit.
All right, you look at it. I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, Tiffany, make it back.
No.
Okay, that's like 2 minutes I gotta cut out of that. So, well, I see her thing's on here, but she's showing up as muted. I don't know why.
Yeah, I was trying to go download to my iPad. I think I know. I'll wait and discuss it with that.
She's here. Well, you muted yourself again, Tiff. But we're not seeing video. You're mute. I'm gonna be so politically incorrect.
Oh god, my internet's acting like a butthole too.
And mine's actually not.
I mean, after it froze you out, it better not.
Right. Oh, and look, speaking of diversity, can I be any more redneck?
What does that taste like? It looks like it tastes like shit, Dina, does it?
You know what? Beer tastes like beer.
I mean, but come on, there's some beers that are better than others. I personally love beer. I think it's a great.
I love beer. I love Miller Lite.
No, hell no.
I don't really like the micro brewers. I do not like Shiner.
You like Guinness?
Now I like Fat Tire.
Okay.
And I like Red Stripe.
Okay.
And Blue Moon.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, right. There's a few that I like, and then Modelo.
Okay.
Tecate.
You don't like Guinness? You said you don't like Guinness?
I'm not a fan of Guinness. I'm not a fan of darks.
It's my favorite.
I'm not a fan of darks, but see, you know, with Lone Star, it's like the nostalgia factor.
Okay.
You know, I grew up with my daddy drinking Lone Star.
Okay.
And we'd make Lone Star beer bread. And it, you know, so it was like
Lone Star beer bread.
That shit was good too. And fattening. Just butter. Butter.
Butter and what? Butter, the beer, and what else?
Butter and beer, flour, and yeast, and that was just about it.
That sounds interesting, actually.
It was good. I got the recipe. I'll send it to you, and you can try some redneckness.
Okay.
Frank, you're from Georgia. What the fuck are you talking about?
Have you ever had hot water cornbread?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? I think if you're from the South, you're used to making a whole meal out of cornbread, right? That's your whole meal, cornbread.
A lot. You know what? Twinkies taste like shit now. Ever since Hostess went away, came back, it's
Yeah.
like shit. I'm eating it because I bought it. Tastes like shit.
Yeah, well, it'll still be here 20 years later.
Fucking disgusting. I'm like, ew. Like, I don't remember Twinkies taste. Twinkies used to be good as shit.
Ding dongs are awesome. Ding dongs.
Ding dongs and the Swiss. No, that's Debbie. But the ding dongs
Swiss
are kind of
rolls.
okay. Those Swiss rolls are amazing. But Little Debbie, all Little Debbie, everything is amazing.
Yeah, and I love snowballs.
Mm-mm.
Fuck, I love snowballs. But you can eat like 2 of them, and after you eat the 2 that are in the package, then they just get kind of sick because it's like too much marshmallow, too much coconut, and too much shortening all at one time.
I
Right?
got it.
Like, get this fucking shit the fuck away from me.
I got it. Let's see.
Ah.
We're about to see. Oh,
I
you
don't
can
know.
log in
I
with
might
your
have to
Facebook.
buy me a
Do I wanna do
used
that?
iPad just to do Litzy.
I'm trying to say, do I want to log in with Facebook? I don't know, because I don't like my shit being connected. I usually don't like that shit. Because that's not my author account. That's my personal account.
Yeah, so
I think I'll create my own account because I don't like it being connected. What the fuck? Oh. I don't want to. Fuck you.
okay, we'll fuck with that later. I want to finish the show. I'm gonna go on. Well, hold
Where's
on.
Tiff? I thought we were waiting for Tiff. Oh. I'll do it later. I was gonna look it up so we can talk about it.
I'm sending her a message right now.
Okay. No, I was gonna go on so I could talk about it, but if it's like,
Well, we can have you on another show and we can talk about it. But if I can get Tiffany back, what? Fuck it. Hold on. I hate to call her, but you know I need to find out if she's coming back or not. Internet crashed. Okay, she's rebooting the router.
okay.
Okay. So I guess you can go ahead and you can keep doing the Litzy for right now.
All right.
And I'm going to go and refresh my knowledge on
The toilet.
No, I don't have to pee right now, but you watch. As soon as she gets back, I'll have to pee. Damn tramp.
Let's see. So. I think I'm just gonna use my. Not gonna use. I hate when the screen doesn't turn. That pisses me off.
All right.
I hate that shit. All right.
She's bitching about iOS.
What happened?
She says, fucking iOS eats up bandwidth when the devices are shut down. They're constantly trying to sync.
You know what? That is true. iOS is a son of a bitch. I can't stand that shit. It's always trying to do something extra. I'm like, I don't need you doing that right now.
Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Best MLK quote ever. The time is always right to do what is right.
There's really nothing that came out of his mouth that wasn't right.
Right? Oh, shit. She says her computer just blue screened.
Oh, well, shit. She's probably out for the duration.
She's had nothing but problems since she went to Windows 10.
You know what? I am a firm believer in Apple, and Microsoft will never see my ass again. But yeah.
Well, you know, I've had nothing but, I mean, you know, a lot of it comes from, I was Microsoft certified, right? So So I mean, I'm more of a PC person. I could build a PC.
Yeah.
You know, I'm more comfortable with all of that. So I'm pretty much anti-Apple.
Oh, I love them. I love everything about Apple. All right, so I'm in. So let's see. Oh, they're trying to school me. Ready to make a post. Hold up. Ready to make a review. This is a book. To stack or not. Okay. Stack or not to stack.
What's the interface look like?
Well, it's taking me through those stupid screens right now. Hold on, let me get to it.
Oh yeah, the setup screens.
Yeah.
Love the setup screens.
So this is the home page. I don't know if you can see.
Right?
Then you have your, looks like your search looks like this, pretty standard. And then you have your, looks like your profile, which I haven't done anything to, so it looks like that.
So it's pretty blank.
Yeah, with nothing. And then this looks like, okay, so you have your notifications page, then the plus sign, you can add a review, a blurb, or a quote, like that. And
That's
like,
awesome.
that's how you create your post right there. Because everything is about a book. So let me see if I wanted to review something. Oh, so you go in, you select the book. Well, how do you know your book's in here? I'm going to see if I'm in here.
I wonder if you have to enter your book or if it picks up by your ISBN number, your
Yes,
Library of Congress number.
Somewhere, because I put in Diantha Jones. One of my books came up, but it's Prophecy of Solstice's End, but it has no cover, which I know my books all have covers.
Right?
Yeah, so it's like, if you didn't purchase ISBNs, you might be shit out of luck.
You didn't purchase your.
No. What am I gonna do all that for?
If you didn't, well, see now my book, I've got all of my own ISBN. Well, one of my mother's companies has all of my ISBNs.
Okay, I mean, I'm not knocking anyone who does it. I just never saw the point. Now, then you've got this.
Now, if you've got this, but really, I mean, do you think that there's as many Apple people as there are PC people? I've always thought that there weren't near as many Apples as there are PCs.
I don't think there was until the iPhone came out. And then when the iPhone came out and then the iPad and Apple became mobile. See, they weren't mobile before. Not really. They had their laptops, but they weren't like, this is way better than carrying around a laptop. An iPhone in itself is a computer. Once they had those, that changed everything. And it made them truly a competitor against Microsoft.
Against PC.
Yeah, they were a true competitor once they came out with the iPhone and the iPad. Well, it started with the iPod, but that wasn't real. That was just music, and then they ventured into. So yeah, it looks like so.
Well, going. God damn. Going by Litzy, and the reason that this came up for me is because I was reading the article that I sent you and the redheaded bitch, and it said it's a social community. Litzy is a social community app that some have described as the Instagram of the book world. Wait a second. Instagram is the Instagram, and then it's like the next day I saw in Triber it came up that let me switch on over to it. Motherfucker, I got so many damn windows open. I'm gonna shoot myself or shoot someone else. But on the social media hat, there were 2 posts that came up in my Triber that are specifically. Oh, you know what? I'm wrong. One's Pinterest. and we've already talked about Pinterest.
Yeah.
And the other one is scheduling your Instagram. And I'm thinking, okay, look, why are you going to get another? Yeah, okay, eventually, Litzy will go to Android and Apple systems. Everyone does usually. They don't stay exclusive for very long because it's not cost effective to do it.
Right.
So before they do that, people that don't have Apples, you should be using your Instagram more effectively. And, it's scheduling posts and finding out when your people are actually, your followers are actually on there. Well, then you get into, oh, you have to pay for analytics and God, just one more fucking thing to drain money out of your fucking PayPal account.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, as Badass Book Society, because, look, I ain't gonna kid you. I'm not doing Badass Book Society and ebook builders don't pay all of my bills.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, anyone who's involved in publishing, and unless they're like Stephen King, J.K. Rowling, Nora Robb, and consistently. Well, I can't even say that J.K. Rowling is consistently pumping out new material because she's not.
She doesn't, and she don't damn need to.
And she's still banking. But, and hell, George
Harry Potter came out last week rather than 20 years ago. It came out 20 years ago. People don't realize how old Harry Potter is. It's 20 years old. The first book came out 20 years ago. And we're acting like last week.
I wouldn't know that. Well, I probably wouldn't.
The first book came out in 96.
And I think let's see, I got married in 99. I probably started listening to him in 2002.
Can you hear
when
me?
I started listening to him as books on tape. And that's to show you how old it is. It was books on tape.
Tape.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah, we hear you.
Good Lord.
We didn't know if you were coming back, so we started talking about Litzy and just moved into the Instagram. We're supposed to only have 2 minutes, but we're actually going to move that out like 15 minutes. And because there's like 10 minutes where I got to edit the shit out anyway.
Right. Well, no, like iOS, if you let your screens go on lock, they immediately try to upload everything to the cloud, and I've got 3 iOS devices in the house. So it eats up the bandwidth, so whenever I'm using the internet, every screen has to be like on never shut off. And then I got all that straightened out, and then my computer blue screened. Yeah.
Thanks, Windows 10.
Windows 10 blows. I don't care what anybody says. Like, everybody loves it, and I'm just like, I have had nothing but trouble with Windows 10. If my computer crashes, like now, I'm going to have to go find Laura's file. Laura's file was open. And when it crashes, it creates a new file name that is totally random and puts it in some random folder, and I have to search for it. And it'll take me about 2 hours to find it.
Well, I have Windows 10 on my laptop. Haven't had any problems.
I think it's because I upgraded.
Well, this was Alex's old laptop, and he upgraded, but he blew everything off of there anyway. He wasn't migrating stuff into 10.
Oh, yeah, no. Mine, I bought it with 8, but it came with the free upgrade. Everybody got the free upgrade to 10 by September, whatever. And I told my computer I didn't want it, and it automatically did it at 3 a.m. the next day.
Well, you know what? You can sue and get $10,000.
What?
You didn't see that? It
No.
hit last week. A lady sued Microsoft because she put that she did not want her computer to be upgraded to 10, and it automatically upgraded anyway.
Yeah, but how do you even prove that?
I don't know, but the courts just fucking look. They're willing to settle.
Yeah, but they can really go away. And maybe they'll do that for you, Tiffany.
See?
Make sure
I'm going to tell you right now, thumb drives are awesome. See this? See this? Look.
doing too much.
And see this one right here? This one is shut your
Oh, it's
fucking
just like
pie
you,
hole.
Dina.
This one right here, this one is my books.
It looks just like you. Such a likeness.
Right? You can imagine me with Hello Kitty and what is this, Monster High or whatever. Look, I'm an old bitch and I gotta hold that shit away to see what the hell it says. How the fuck? And my daughter's going, I want it. And I'm like, bitch, hands off. But then, you know, I just caught her. She was in her bed. She was playing a game, and she goes, "You want a piece of me? Come on, pussy."
I'm like, I'm closing the door now.
I said,
Don't
"You
come
need
out."
to shut up." She goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I said that." Liar. Tramp. So, anyway. So, before, I mean, especially if you don't have a Mac, now that we're going to jump back on subject, if you don't have a Mac, you know, or an Apple, or, you know, figure out Instagram. Because Instagram, it's one of the fastest growing social media networks, and you don't have the fucking Facebook people setting all the fucking rules right now. Get in there and do what you can on it before they get in there and fuck that shit up like they did Facebook. You know, just... But, you know, and figure out how you can use it. And if you have to pay the $10 a month to schedule your posts, and there's significantly, I personally know of one to do it. And my problem with scheduling through Instagram is you still have to be online and approve each. And, you know, granted, this was like 3 months ago. You still had to approve each online on your handheld or your tablet, you know, to the account.
So what's the point of scheduling then if you have
And that was pretty much what I thought.
Okay. So I'm not alone. Okay.
And, you know, I'm like...
How did it work? Did it give you an alert and say, you know, this post is going to
go and approve this one on? And I'm like, well, then why am I doing it? Now, if you can actually schedule, and I haven't really had a chance to look into it, I will, because it's going to be one of the things that Badass Book Society does, is, you know, we're going to promote each... I mean, because the whole thing about Badass Book Society is we want to help promote our authors in any way that we can. And if that means, you know, look, that don't mean I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night to approve no fucking posts.
No.
But,
That's the thing. The thing is, what if I'm at work? So what's going to happen? The post is not going to go out because I didn't, you know, hit...
Because you don't have your phone on right there every, you know.
I don't have time for that. If I have something to say, I'll just post it. Like, fuck it.
And see, I think that's a lot of the problem with social media is, you know, people are like, I'm going to post when I have something to say. Well, yeah, that's good for your day-to-day interaction, but you have to have something where you're promoting your work. And it's, you know, so you've got to find the happy medium between the two. Being spontaneous and being... You know, and that's
marketing and not the same thing, yeah.
You know, and when Facebook first came out with their pages, I was like, no, keep your social, you know, keep your personal and your writing separate. Well, then, you know, they started fucking people on how their posts were getting seen, and now I'm like, no, you need to share whenever and wherever you can, and don't worry about keeping the shit separate. If you have personal shit, you go incognito on another account. You know, but you still have to occasionally post in your so-called personal author page.
Yeah.
Because there's just no other way around it. Facebook is fucking the small business and the authors and the small publishers. They're putting everyone... You know.
Yeah, I still posted the page. I just do it. I don't find it very big deal. I never really have, and I don't feel like building or I'm not interested in building a personal author page. So I just don't even bother with it. I'm sure I'm like the lone ranger in this, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna fucking do it. It's just not getting done. I do the Twitter. I have my Twitter account. I have the Pinterest account. I have an Instagram, like you said. I'm one of those authors that doesn't use it. Almost, I can't even remember the last time I logged in because I tried it for a while and then it just didn't really work for me. But I guess maybe
one thing that I don't get is the Snapchat. I love playing with Snapchat. I see no real world purpose for it other than to put up some really kick-ass looking pictures with, like flowers and,
as a piece of toast, like, yeah.
I mean, but that's a goof off. That's not
right. Yeah, maybe one day we will see a reason for it, but maybe I guess you could use Snapchat to maybe announce a new release. Maybe.
And save the video and promote that video.
Yeah, that would be the only thing I could think of.
Because Snapchat does have some kick-ass filters, and you always look really, really good on Snapchat.
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe...
Even when you look like the dog, you still look really good.
Yeah, the dog is actually pretty cute.
So, and it's just fun to fuck around with, basically.
But maybe I don't even have a Snapchat account. I have no plans of getting one. But if one of you gets one, could you let me know if it's
well, no, Tiffany has one.
I said I would never get one, and I have so much fun with it, and I don't even send a whole lot of snaps. Like I
don't send snaps to anybody, but I have so much fun on it. And Wee Bossy Baby gets with me, and then
the face get with me.
Wee Bossy Baby knew about it before I did.
Oh, yeah. I can say, no, I won't get it. No, I won't get it. I got it.
How the fuck, right? She's such a hooch.
I just don't know. I just don't know what purpose. And
I think it's one of those things that it's just for the shits and giggles.
Just for fun?
There's no fucking purpose. It's just for shits and giggles.
Okay.
And I'm fine with having shits and giggles because I got way too much shit that has a fucking purpose. It's something to play with is fun occasionally because I think, especially as any author or as any publishing professional, you spend so much of your time on social media for business reasons that you forget. Fucking internet is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be educational and fun, and there's so much negativity and anger and bullshit, and I'm one of those that gets up there and I rant and rave and
but then you move on. It's
right.
You hold on to for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Like
because honestly, I look back
on Facebook.
What gives you your look back on what you were posting about last year? I'm like, fuck, I really gave a shit about that last year, really?
Right.
Because I fucking blow up, I explode, I puke it on the page, and then I move on.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know, maybe that just says nothing really bothers me. Which I don't know, it's a good thing, bad thing, alcohol, dementia, I don't know.
So, how do you utilize Twitter? Authors in general are using Twitter to its best advantage, or...
I don't think they are because I think a lot of Twitter, because it's moving so fast, the fucking Audubon of the internet, right?
It really is.
It's like fucking the shelf life of a tweet is like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's like nothing. So unless you're standing there fucking screaming or having a one-on-one conversation, people really aren't hearing you.
Right.
I think it's like, sorry, it used to be someone had to hear about your product or hear about you 5 times before you stuck in their head.
Yeah.
And this is before social media marketing came into effect.
Right.
I think especially since social media marketing came into effect, it's like they have to hear you 105 times.
Yeah.
Right.
Before you even penetrate. Now, how do you get past that? Do you bombard someone with direct messages, which
Ugh. No, you
as
do
the
not.
person that just pisses me off. Hey, look, take a look at my video. Hey, fuck off. This is exactly, I mean, I had someone send me a Facebook message, which this is really strange. Send me a Facebook message, hey, take a look at my 2-minute video. And I'm immediately thinking, I want to fucking hit you. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to send like a 2-minute really gross video in return. And I thought, no, this person just doesn't know any better, and I've got to rise above my naturally antigate and
I love the direct messages that say, I don't normally send direct messages.
look at my penis.
You guys getting the dick pics. I don't get these things.
No, I accepted one night, and the only reason I accepted it was because they were friends with Dina and somebody else, and I'm like, all right, you know, these ladies are pretty good at screening their shit. Yeah, no.
I should have fucking told you, because I look at who their mutual friends are, and
Oh, I've gotten now to where I go check their profile, because within
I check profiles too.
Within 20 seconds of me accepting this friend request, I had a photo of a dozen roses, a photo of an engagement ring. The dude told me that he loved me, and then tried to call me through Facebook.
Yep.
And he was
It's about to be terrible.
Yeah, but you know what? The one that freaked me out the most was the guy goes, I'm watching on the news for you. Dude, you freaked my shit. You are gone.
I'm watching on the news for you.
I'm watching on the news for you. And I'm thinking, are you waiting for me to get killed?
Right?
Right? So, but you know, I get the roses and all of this, and I've got like a screenshot, and you know, you can tell if they're middle. I've got screenshot, and it says "fuck off" in Farsi, and I just did that. And then, you know, like the really persistent ones will say, "Oh, you are so nice," and I'm like, "No, you really are. No, I'm really not. Fuck off."
Yeah.
But that's my favorite go-to. Fuck off. And I will, you know, I mean, one guy, he just kept going on. I was like, what part of fuck off do you not understand?
Anytime, sorry. Anytime you can use the word fuck, good time.
It should be used.
Anytime you can use the word fuck is a good day.
Yeah. Yeah. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Well, but you know what? And there was somebody who told me, and I paid attention to one of the messages that I got from someone, because I responded with, you know, do I know you, is what I responded as, because it had, you know, that they were a writer. And I started noticing that all of their responses were basically bits and pieces of what I had said with more shit mixed in. So it was like it was a bot, like an autoresponder, where they took my language and mixed it with a little bit of these and that and of and is, and basically turned my shit back around on me. And I was literally talking to a fucking computer.
Well, so then I would get back something that was like, off the fuck you.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. It's a fucking robot that you're talking to.
That's great.
Oh, you know what? These people that come up with this shit, they got way too much time on their hands.
I hear that.
But a lot of times it's good for shits and giggles for us. And then, you know, we take their dick pics and share them with the world.
Yep.
Yes, sir. So, all right, ladies, we have, we didn't really talk too much about publishing, which I think that's okay. Because I think it was a really good show, regardless.
Yep.
I do want to talk about Instagram more. I'm going to get, for Badass Book Society, I'm going to get into the Instagram scheduling and seeing if there's any way that I can do it on a mass scale for all of the badass Book Society authors, and I will keep all of y'all posted on that. So, but regardless, I am going to say peace out, bitches.
All
Good
right.
night.
Night.